Melissa Biersbach. I work for Irish companies, and Irish companies, we work with many kinds of gases. Gases for companies to use in manufacturing things that you do every day, and also gases for your home, like propane for heating. One of the gases that we sell is carbon dioxide, and one of the interesting things you can do with carbon dioxide, you might recognize it makes the bubbles in your soda, but also if you compress it, it turns into a solid and it gets really, really, really cold. And that is something called dry ice. So dry ice, it is very cold and you have to be really safe when you handle it. It's actually minus 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Super cold, way colder than regular ice. And you might wonder, why is it called dry? Well, you know how you have an ice cube and maybe sits on the countertop and turns into a little puddle and it goes from solid ice to water. And eventually, if that puddle sits there long enough, it's going to evaporate. There'll be no more puddle on your countertop, but it will have evaporated into a gas, into the air. With dry ice, super cold, I'm going to put on my glove. It's kind of this pellet of dry ice, and you can see it's a little bit smoky. And that's because when dry ice gets warmer, it goes right from a solid piece of ice to a gas. If you leave it on the countertop, it will not make a puddle. It goes right to be a gas in the air. And super cold. So we're going to do a little bit with dry ice today to see what happens and to look at how do we see it turn into a gas. So one of the things we're going to try to do is see if we can use it to blow up a balloon. Normally, you might use air from your lungs to blow up the balloon, or helium from another gas container to blow up a balloon. Let's see if I can stick a piece of ice inside a balloon. Let's see. Okay, got some ice in there. I tie it off here. And let's see what happens. You can see that balloon is already getting a little bigger. So we'll see if those balloons get any bigger. Another thing that happens with dry ice is if you make it get warm a little faster than it normally would, it kind of makes a lot of smoke. So let's see if we can do that. Put a bunch in here and got some warm water. So this is going to make it get a little warmer than just the air. Let's see what happens. Ooh, like witch's brew. So what you see here is a combination of that CO2 gas coming off of the dry ice, and it also picks up some water vapor from the warm water and makes a cloud. It's kind of cool coming across the table. The other thing that I wanted to check out, I'm going to move Silly McGilly before I do this, is what happens to all that vapor and CO2 gas, the bubbles in your soda pop, if I add some soap. See, the water looks blue and soapy. Make it a little warmer in there. Oh, it's like slime. And I think this is where you can have some fun. Pop in those bubbles and you can see the CO2 gas and water vapor comes right out. Thank you to Silly, thank you to Epic, thanks for all of you for joining us here at Irish Companies, learning a little bit about what we sell and a little bit about science, and happy St. Patrick's Day.